This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
Welcome back to Midweek Politics. I'm David Pakman. Visit us on YouTube, youtube.com/midweekpolitics, as well as on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, check out our website, midweekpolitics.com. A few months ago, we did a story about so-called faith healing that's going on across the country. Faith healing is, well, how would you explain what faith healing is, Lewis, most simply?
Praying that someone will get better.
Instead of bringing them to a doctor.
Right. Instead of actual medical treatment.
And typically, it's not individuals that are ever deciding to do this for themselves, but it's what?
Parents deciding to pray for their children.
Instead of bringing them to hospitals.
Right.
That's right. Now, the story we did a few months ago, I don't remember if it was in Oregon or not. I think it may have been. It brings up an interesting question. Do parents have the right to choose prayer over any kind of actual medical treatment for their children? What do you think?
That's a really hard question. I don't see why they can't do both, but I guess when it comes down to it, I think we should talk to Bill Newman about this or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I think that if you are not going to, you can pray all you want, but if you are keeping someone away from medical treatment that they would require, I think it could qualify as abuse, and it seems like Oregon is agreeing with me.
Yeah, and it could also depend on, I guess, the severity of the illness or whatever it is.
Well, yet another couple from the Followers of Christ Church in Oregon City, Oregon, stand accused of criminal mistreatment for deliberately withholding medical care from their child. Timothy and Rebecca Wyland of Beaver Creek believe in treating sickness with prayer rather than medicine, even when prayer doesn't work. Big surprise. Their infant daughter, Alayna, has a serious eye problem, which they chose not to treat. I want our audience to go online and to look this up. You will not have trouble finding it if you just put in Followers of Christ Wyland, W-Y-L-A-N-D. If you see the girl, Lewis, it looks like she has one eye because she has a deformity that has grown above or over her left eye that is about the size of a baseball, okay? And we'll get to what the condition is. They have chosen not to treat her. Now, someone notified the authorities, fortunately, and the state has intervened, and the Wylands have lost custody of their daughter altogether. Again, only the pictures will do this story justice, so go online. We'll even try to link to it. We will link to it from midweekpolitics.com, so you can check it out and you can take a look at the picture. The photographs have been obtained from the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, show Alayna as a sweetly chubby baby with what is being described as a grotesque protrusion on her face, distorting her eye. The mass is purplish red. It's very painful looking. They're calling it a tennis ball here. I guess it's about the same size as a baseball. In the grocery store, you could see it from across the store. Let me put it that way. A reasonable person would not keep this child from a doctor. A reasonable person would be breaking doors down to get to a doctor at the first sign of this. They would not be keeping the child home and praying for the tennis ball-sized growth to go away. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Medical experts call the problem a hemangioma. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a fast-growing mass of blood vessels. Normally, again, this is what you brought up, Lewis, is this something that you could just treat easily? Normally, the condition could be diagnosed and easily treated at the first signs of swelling or discoloration. Left untreated, the mass has pushed Alayna's eye down and out, placing pressure on her eyeball and her eye socket. It's actually not clear whether she'll go blind. She may go blind altogether because of the fact that treatment has been delayed. The only thing that's for certain here, Lewis, is that the Wylands, Alayna's parents, deliberately withheld medical care, and they admitted in court to doing so because they believe in prayer for healing, not medicine.
Well, I'm glad they lost custody.
Well, it's actually kind of an odd story because over the past 3 decades, there's been more than 20 Oregon children whose parents belong to this exact same church called Followers of Christ who have died of treatable illnesses, according to the state medical examiner's office. And Oregon actually grants special leniency to these faith healers. I don't understand exactly why, but they are singled out favorably in state policy, and they're protected from being charged with certain crimes. There was some kind of a compromise in 1999 where the Oregon legislature stripped some of those legal protections, but lighter sentences are still given to these faith healers. Someone is speaking out and saying that the parents did nothing wrong and that these hemangiomas resolve on their own in many cases by age 9. The fact is, state social workers deemed the condition of the child to be a danger, and I think absolutely it was correct that this is abuse, and the child needed to be taken into state custody.
For sure.
Midweek Politics is made possible in part by CSR Wire, the corporate social responsibility newswire at csrwire.com, by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.